Let's go ahead and take a moment to look at this next problem. This time, it's a super straightforward problem. I have 1/3 divided by 5. I need to see what number I'm starting with. I know that 1/3 is my total, or I can call that my dividend. I'm dividing this by 5. So I know that whatever I have, which is my 1/3, I'm going to need to divide this into 5 equal groups. My 5 is called my divisor. I'm trying to find my quotient. I'm going to put a Q here for quotient, and I don't know what my quotient will be yet. My quotient is the answer to my division problem. Let's get started with our model to figure out how to do this problem. Again, I need to start with my total, and in this case, my total is 1/3. I know that 1/3 is smaller than 1 whole, so I'm only going to have one model for this problem, and I know that it will not be completely full. I'm going to show my 1/3 going vertically. That means up to down. And once you partition your model into thirds, you can go ahead and lightly shade in 1/3. Now that I have my 1/3, I'm noticing I need to divide that into 5 equal groups. I'm going to show my 5 equal groups by partitioning my model horizontally. That means side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal groups. This model looks fantastic. It's looking great. Let's go ahead and see what our quotient is now that I have all the information that I need. So, I'm noticing that this model has just been partitioned into a lot of small equal pieces. Well, I tried to make them equal. You know, I'm not the best drawer. And so the first thing I need to do is count out how many pieces I now have. And that is going to represent my denominator. Go ahead and count up all your pieces. Or a lot of you guys like to skip count. If you know there's 3 in a row, you can go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So I now know that in this model, there are 15 equal pieces. That's going to represent my denominator. The next thing I need to do is figure out how many pieces are shaded inside each group. In my first group, I just have 1. In my second group, 1. In my third group, 1. In my fourth group, 1. In my fifth group, 1. I know now that there's only 1 piece shaded in each group, and so my numerator is 1. 1/3 divided by 5 equals 1/15. I have my equation over here. I have my beautiful model. I feel like there's one last thing I need to do to make this a perfect example. What am I missing? That's right, I'm missing a check step. Remember, your check step is so important, especially because this is new material and we want to make sure we're getting the right answer each time. Plus, it gives us some extra practice with using multiplication and fractions. All right. Any division problem ever, I know that I need to multiply the quotient. In this case, my quotient was 1/15 by my divisor. In this case, my divisor was 5. And that should give me my total of 1/3. Let's start multiplying. 1/15 times 5, I'm going to put a 1 in the denominator. When I multiply across, I get 5/15. That doesn't quite look like 1/3 yet, but I am noticing that 5 and 15 have a common factor of 5. So let's simplify to see if that would equal 1/3. I want you to think, what number goes into both 5 and 15? You may also list out all your factors if that helps. I'm noticing that the number 5 can go into 5 and can go into 15. So I'm going to divide by 5 over 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. And I get 1/3, which definitely matches my dividend. I know that I got the right answer. 1/3 divided by 5 equals 1/15. When you are dividing fractions, it's super important that you are identifying which value is your total, or in other words, your dividend. If you're starting with a fraction, then you know that you're probably only going to have one model because a fraction is not yet a whole. If you're starting with a whole number, you're going to have multiple models because you need to represent how many wholes you have.